चलिए हम लोग ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन में कैटलिस्ट के क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग। जी हाँ, प्रोजेस्टेरोन लेवल इज हाई ड्यूरिंग द पोस्ट ओव्यूलेटरी फेज ऑफ मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल इज करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट। जी हाँ, प्रोजेस्टेरोन लेवल इज हाई ड्यूरिंग द पोस्ट ओव्यूलेटरी फेज ऑफ menstrual cycle is correct statement. Question second, birth canal is formed by। जी हाँ, birth canal is formed by cervix and vagina। जी हाँ, birth canal is formed by cervix and vagina। Question third, which one is not the part of intratesticular ductile system? Options are vasa efferentia, seminiferous tubules, retrotestis, epididymis। जी हाँ, epididymis is not the part of intratesticular ductile system। जी हाँ, epididymis is not the part of intratesticular ductile system। Question 4, read the following statements and बताइए how many of the above statements are correct। Question 5, read the following sentences। चलिए इसमें से करेक्ट वन को बताइए। जी हाँ, क्रीमास्टर मसल एंड कनेक्टिव टिश्यू फॉर्म एस्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड, यह करेक्ट है। जी हाँ, क्रीमास्टर मसल एंड कनेक्टिव टिश्यू फॉर्म एस्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड, यह करेक्ट है। ऑर्निथोरिंकस एंड डॉल्फिन हैव इंट्रा एब्डोमिनल टेस्टिस, यह भी करेक्ट है। ऑर्निथोरिंकस एंड डॉल्फिन हैव इंट्रा एब्डोमिनल टेस्टिस, यह भी करेक्ट है। सर्टोली सेल्स फॉर्म ब्लड टेस्टिस बैरियर, यह भी करेक्ट है। सर्टोली सेल्स फॉर्म ब्लड टेस्टिस बैरियर, यह भी करेक्ट है। बाकी बी और ई इनकरेक्ट है। Question 6, choose the incorrect match with respect to homology of male and female reproductive system। एस्कोराइटल सेक की मैचिंग लेविया मेजोरा से, पेनिस, क्लाइटोरिस, प्रोस्टेट पारा, यूरेथ्रल ग्लैंड, कॉपर्स ग्लैंड, एस्किनीज ग्लैंड्स। जी हाँ, इनकरेक्ट मैच विद रिस्पेक्ट टू होमोलॉजी ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम इज कॉपर्स ग्लैंड्स, एस्किनीज ग्लैंड्स। क्वेश्चन 7, करेक्ट ऑर्डर ऑफ स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस इज। जी हाँ, स्पर्मेटोगोनिया, प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट, सेकेंडरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट, स्पर्मेटिड, स्पर्म is correct order of spermatogenesis। जी हाँ, स्पर्मेटोगोनिया, प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट, सेकेंडरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट, स्पर्मेटिड, स्पर्म is correct order of spermatogenesis। Question 8, seminal plasma in humans is rich in। जी हाँ, seminal plasma in humans is rich in fructose, calcium 2 plus and certain enzymes। जी हाँ, seminal plasma in humans is rich in fructose, calcium 2 plus and certain enzymes। Question 9, the first sign of growing fetus is noticed by। जी हाँ, the first sign of growing fetus is noticed by listening to heart sound of fetus। जी हाँ, the first sign of growing fetus is noticed by listening to heart sound of fetus। Question 10, in human embryonic development all embryonic germ layers are produced by। जी हाँ, in human embryonic development all embryonic germ layers are produced by epiblast। जी हाँ, in human embryonic development all embryonic germ layers are produced by epiblast। Question 11, Implantation involves the जी हाँ implantation involves the activity of both blastocyst and uterus. जी हाँ implantation involves the activity of both blastocyst and uterus. Question 12. Human placenta is जी हाँ human placenta is deciduous, hymochorial, metadiscoidal. जी हाँ human placenta is deciduous, hymochorial, metadiscoidal. Question 13. Identify P, Q, R, S and T in the following figure. बताइए P क्या है? जी हाँ P फिम्बरी है. बताइए Q क्या है? जी हाँ Q ओवरी है. R क्या है? जी हाँ R सर्वाइकल कैनाल है. S क्या है? जी हाँ S वेजाइना है. T जी हाँ T इंडोमेट्रियम है. Question 14. Which of the following set of structures is endodermal in origin? जी हाँ liver, pancreas, thyroid, lung is a set of structure that is endodermal in origin. जी हाँ liver, pancreas, thyroid, lung is a set of structure that is endodermal in origin. Question 15. The portion of endometrium present between chorion and myometrium of uterus and forming the maternal part of placenta is जी हाँ the portion of endometrium present between chorion and myometrium of uterus and forming the maternal part of placenta is decidua basalis. जी हाँ the portion of endometrium present between chorion and myometrium of uterus and forming the maternal part of placenta is decidua basalis. Question 16. The hormone which peaks during ovulation is जी हाँ LH is that hormone which peaks during ovulation. जी हाँ LH is that hormone which peaks during ovulation. Question 17. Milk inhibitory peptide works antagonistic to जी हाँ milk inhibitory peptide works antagonistic to prolactin. जी हाँ milk inhibitory peptide works antagonistic to prolactin. Question 18. Which of the following is not the function of Sertoli cells? Options are absorbs cytoplasm being shed by developing a spermatozoa, release anti-Mullerian factor, forms blood testis barrier, release androgen degrading protein. जी हाँ release androgen degrading protein is not the function of Sertoli cells. जी हाँ release androgen degrading protein is not the function of Sertoli cells. Question 19. Male urethra is present within जी हाँ male urethra is present within corpus spongiosum. जी हाँ male urethra is present within corpus spongiosum. Question 20. Which of the following is incorrect statement? First, both spermatogonia and oogonia are diploid. Estrogen produced by corpus luteum leads to further Proliferation of endometrium. Spermatid and polar body are both haploid. Primary oocyte and secondary spermatocyte are both diploid. The incorrect statement is primary oocyte and secondary spermatocyte are both diploid. Question 22. Which hormone shows two peaks in one menstrual cycle? The estrogen shows two peaks in one menstrual cycle. The estrogen shows two peaks in one menstrual cycle. Question 22. Androgen binding protein यानी कि ABP. जी हाँ, एंड्रोजन बाइंडिंग प्रोटीन यानी कि ABP concentrates the testosterone within the seminiferous tubules of testis. जी हाँ, एंड्रोजन बाइंडिंग प्रोटीन यानी कि ABP concentrates the testosterone within the seminiferous tubules of testis. Question 23. Which one is correct with respect to spermatogenesis in human males? जी हाँ, meiosis first occurs in primary oocyte is correct with respect to spermatogenesis in human males. जी हाँ, meiosis first occurs in primary oocyte is correct with respect to spermatogenesis in human males. Question 24. Bartholin's gland of a female corresponds to which glands in a male? जी हाँ, Bartholin's gland of a female corresponds to Cowper's glands in a male. जी हाँ, Bartholin's gland of a female corresponds to Cowper's glands in a male. Question 25. Which of the following is incorrect statement for corpus luteum? First, change into corpus albicans. Secrete estrogen and progesterone. Persists throughout the pregnancy. Persists till the placenta is fully functional. The incorrect statement for corpus luteum is persists till the placenta is fully functional. Question 26. If both ovaries of a lady are removed in fourth month of pregnancy, then जी हाँ, if both ovaries of a lady are removed in fourth month of pregnancy, then embryo will develop normally till birth. जी हाँ, if both ovaries of a lady are removed in fourth month of pregnancy, then embryo will develop normally till birth. Question 27. What is correct about the amount of total gonadotropin activity in a normal pregnant woman? जी हाँ, correct about of total gonadotropin activity in a normal pregnant woman is a high level of circulating HCG to stimulate the synthesis of estrogen and progesterone from corpus luteum. जी हाँ, correct about of total gonadotropin activity in a normal pregnant woman is a high level of circulating HCG to stimulate the synthesis of estrogen and progesterone from corpus luteum. Question 28. Fetal ejection reflex in human female is induced by? जी हाँ, fetal ejection reflex in human female is induced by fully developed fetus and placenta. जी हाँ, fetal ejection reflex in human female is induced by fully developed fetus and placenta. Question 29. The ratio of maternal and fetal blood flowing through umbilical cord of mammalian embryo is. जी हाँ, the ratio of maternal and fetal blood flowing through umbilical cord of mammalian embryo is 100% fetal, 0% maternal. जी हाँ, the ratio of maternal and fetal blood flowing through umbilical cord of mammalian embryo is 100% fetal, 0% maternal. Question 30. The first movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on its head are usually observed during which month of pregnancy? जी हाँ, the first movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on its head are usually observed during fifth month of pregnancy. जी हाँ, the first movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on its head are usually observed during fifth month of pregnancy. Question 31. Select the correct statement with respect to human development. जी हाँ, inner cell mass gets differentiated as embryo is the correct statement with respect to human development. जी हाँ, inner cell mass gets differentiated as embryo is the correct statement with respect to human development. Question 32. Select the true statement with respect to morula of human. जी हाँ, true statement with respect to morula of human, it has almost equal quantity of cytoplasm as an uncleaved zygote but much more DNA. जी हाँ, true statement with respect to morula of human, it has almost equal quantity of cytoplasm as an uncleaved zygote but much more DNA. Question 33. One difference between the blastula and gastrula stage of development is. जी हाँ, one difference between the blastula and gastrula stage of development is there is an opening called blastopore in the gastrula which is lacking in blastula. जी हाँ, one difference between the blastula and gastrula stage of development is there is an opening called blastopore in the gastrula which is lacking in blastula. Question 34. What is true for the process of fertilization in humans? जी हाँ, true for the process of fertilization in humans is the entry of sperm activates the egg for completing meiosis. जी हाँ, true for the process of fertilization in humans is the entry of sperm activates the egg for completing meiosis. Question 35. The correct statement with respect to cortical reaction. जी हाँ, the correct statement with respect to cortical reaction is it is the release of the cortical granules after a sperm entry which converts the vital line membrane into fertilization membrane which blocks polyspermy. जी हाँ, the correct statement with respect to cortical reaction is it is the release of the cortical granules after a sperm entry which converts the vital line membrane into fertilization membrane which blocks polyspermy. Question 36. In spermatogenesis, reductional division of chromosomes occur during a conversion of. जी हाँ, इन spermatogenesis and reductional division of chromosomes occurring during conversion of primary spermatocytes to secondary spermatocytes. जी हाँ, इन spermatogenesis and reductional division of chromosomes occurring during conversion of primary spermatocytes to secondary spermatocytes. Question 37. Nevenkorn's organelle represents. जी हाँ, Nevenkorn's organelle represents mitochondria of middle piece of sperm. जी हाँ, Nevenkorn's organelle represents mitochondria of middle piece of sperm. Question 38. Penile erection is due to. जी हाँ, penile erection is due to parasympathetic stimulation. जी हाँ, penile erection is due to parasympathetic stimulation. Question 39. Which of the following hormones is not secreted from human placenta? Oxytocin, estrogen, progesterone, hormone chorionic gonadotropin. जी हाँ, oxytocin is that hormone which is not secreted from human placenta. Question 40. During pregnancy, menstrual cycle does not occur due to. जी हाँ, during pregnancy, menstrual cycle does not occur due to negative feedback by progesterone. जी हाँ, during pregnancy, menstrual cycle does not occur due to negative feedback by progesterone. Question 41. Spermiogenesis is a process in which. जी हाँ, spermiogenesis is a process in which spermatids change into spermatozoa. जी हाँ, spermiogenesis is a process in which spermatids change into spermatozoa. Question 42. Blastopore is the opening of. जी हाँ, blastopore is the opening of archenteron cavity and found in gastrula stage. जी हाँ, blastopore is the opening of archenteron cavity and found in gastrula stage. Question 43. Each testis is connected with the wall of scrotum through a flexible and fibrous structure which is called. जी हाँ, each testis is connected with a wall of scrotum through a flexible and fibrous structure which is called gubernaculum. जी हाँ, each testis is connected with a wall of scrotum through a flexible and fibrous structure which is called gubernaculum. Question 44. Which extra embryonic membranes in a human embryo prevents its desiccation in uterus? जी हाँ, amnion is that extra embryonic membranes in a human embryo that prevents its desiccation in uterus. जी हाँ, amnion is that extra embryonic membranes in a human embryo that prevents its desiccation in uterus. Question 45. Which of the following hormones first appear in urine after oophorectomy? जी हाँ, FSH hormone first appear in urine after oophorectomy. जी हाँ, FSH hormone first appear in urine after oophorectomy. Question 46. Cleavage is unique form of mitotic cell division in which. जी हाँ, cleavage is unique form of mitotic cell division in which growth phase is absent. जी हाँ, cleavage is unique form of mitotic cell division in which growth phase is absent. Question 47. Morphogenic movement of cells occurs during. जी हाँ, morphogenic movement of cells occurs during gastrulation. जी हाँ, morphogenic movement of cells occurs during gastrulation. Question 48. Which of the following is correct about embryonic development in human? जी हाँ, inner cell mass gets differentiated into embryonic disc is correct about embryonic development in human. जी हाँ, inner cell mass gets differentiated into embryonic disc is correct about embryonic development in human. Question 49. A chromosome of the sperm develops from. जी हाँ, a chromosome of the sperm develops from Golgi apparatus. जी हाँ, a chromosome of the sperm develops from Golgi apparatus. Question 50. How many of the following statements are correct? जी हाँ, 4 statements are correct. यानी कि चारों corrects हैं. यानी कि in human males the ejaculatory ducts opens into prostatic part of the urethra. यह correct है. यानी कि in human males the ejaculatory ducts opens into prostatic part of the urethra. यह correct है. Zygote is the vital link that ensures continuity of species between organisms of one generation and the next. यह भी correct है. Zygote is the vital link that ensures continuity of species between organisms of one generation and the next. यह भी correct है. Antrum is present in tertiary follicle. यह भी correct है. Antrum is present in tertiary follicle. यह भी correct है. Fusion of gametes results in formation of diploid zygote. यह भी correct है. Fusion of gametes results in formation of diploid zygote. यह भी correct है. Question 51. Choose the option that fill the blanks correctly. In the human testis dash dash synthesize and secrete testicular hormone called dash dash. जी हाँ, in human testis Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgens. जी हाँ, in human testis Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgens. Question 52. All the following are involved in capacitation except. जी हाँ, all the following are involved in capacitation, that is removal of cholesterol vesicles adhering the membrane surrounding a chromosome, entry of calcium 2 plus ion into a sperm, dilution of decapacitation factor, except release of sperm lysine. Question 53. Vital line membrane is a. जी हाँ, vital line membrane is a primary egg membrane. जी हाँ, vital line membrane is a primary egg membrane. Question 54. Fetal membrane that provides the first corpuscle for circulation in embryo is. जी हाँ, fetal membrane that provides the first corpuscle for circulation in embryo is yolk sac. जी हाँ, fetal membrane that provides the first corpuscle for circulation in embryo is yolk sac. Question 55. Juna pellucida disintegrates. जी हाँ, Juna pellucida disintegrates after the formation of blastocyst. बिफोर इम्प्लांटेशन, जी हाँ, जूना पेलुसिडा डिसइंटीग्रेट्स आफ्टर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ब्लास्टोसिस्ट बिफोर इम्प्लांटेशन. Question 56. Choose the incorrect statement with respect to gastrulation. First, immediately after implantation, the inner cell mass differentiates to form three germinal layers. Second, it involves morphogenic movement of the cells, ovulation of blastocele, and formation of archintron. A phase in embryogenesis in which there is only rapid mitotic division of cells without differentiation. The incorrect statement with respect to gastrulation is that a phase in embryogenesis in which there is only a rapid mitotic division of cells without differentiation. Question 57. Read the following statement A to A and यह बताइए how many statements are correct. जी हाँ, all statements are correct. यानी कि testis descend in scrotum under the influence of testosterone. B. Epididymis is extra testicular structure. C. Fructose appears in semen secreted from seminal vesicle. D. Prostate gland includes 30 to 40 tubuloalveolar glands. E. Orchidectomy is a surgical removal of testis. E. Orchidectomy is a surgical removal of testis. Question 58. Match the column A with the column B and select the correct option. तो ये लेविया मेजोरा की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, लेविया मेजोरा की मैचिंग होमोलोगस टू एस्क्रोटम से होगी. जी हाँ, लेविया मेजोरा की मैचिंग होमोलोगस टू एस्क्रोटम से होगी. बारछोलिन्स ग्लैंड्स की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, बारछोलिन्स ग्लैंड की मैचिंग सेक्रेट्स म्यूकस से होगी. जी हाँ, बारछोलिन्स ग्लैंड की मैचिंग सेक्रेट्स म्यूकस से होगी. ग्लैंड ऑफ टाइसोन की मैचिंग जी हाँ, ग्लैंड ऑफ टाइसोन की मैचिंग एस मैग्मा से होगी. जी हाँ, ग्लैंड ऑफ टाइसोन की मैचिंग एस मैग्मा से होगी. सेमिनल वेसिकल की मैचिंग जी हाँ, सेमिनल वेसिकल की मैचिंग प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन से होगी. जी हाँ, सेमिनल वेसिकल की मैचिंग प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन से होगी. Question 59. Which of the following is correctly matched with respect to menstrual cycle? जी हाँ, ऑक्सीटोसिन मिल्क लेट डाउन हार्मोन correctly matched है with respect to menstrual cycle. जी हाँ, ऑक्सीटोसिन मिल्क लेट डाउन हार्मोन correctly matched है with respect to menstrual cycle. Question 60. Identify the statements as true or false. जी हाँ, फर्स्ट यानी कि each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 seminiferous tubule is true. जी हाँ, फर्स्ट यानी कि each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 seminiferous tubule is true. Acrosome contains hyaluronidase भी करेक्ट है. Acrosome contains hyaluronidase भी करेक्ट है. फोर्थ, लिडिग्स शेल्स secrete एंड्रोजन्स भी करेक्ट है. फोर्थ, लिडिग्स शेल्स secrete एंड्रोजन्स भी करेक्ट है। क्वेश्चन 61 सेलेक्ट द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। जी हाँ, ए करेक्ट है बट बी इनकरेक्ट है। ए यानी कि आईलिड्स सेपरेट एंड eyelashes are formed during the 6th month of gestation period करेक्ट है। क्वेश्चन 62 which of the following is incorrect with respect to lactation? First, estrogen antagonizes the milk producing effect of prolactin on the breast. As placenta detaches during parturition, the levels of estrogen and progesterone declines and lactation gets initiated. Oxytocin causes contraction of myoepithelial cells lining mammary ducts. Human milk is a rich source of lactose, protein, and ascorbic acid. The incorrect with respect to lactation is human milk is a rich source of lactose, protein, and ascorbic acid. Question 63 incorrect statement with respect to follicular phase is. Options are primary follicle in the ovary grow to become a fully mature Graafian follicle. Estrogen regenerates the endometrium through proliferation. Gonadotropins increase gradually. The source of estrogen in this half is corpus luteum. The incorrect statement with respect to follicular phase is the source of estrogen in this half is corpus luteum. Question 64. What is the acrosomal reaction? The secretions of spermolysins which help sperm to enter the cytoplasm of ovum through zona pellucida is the acrosomal reaction. The secretions of spermolysins which help sperm to enter the cytoplasm of ovum through zona pellucida is the acrosomal reaction. Question 65. Capacitation of sperms occurs in. The capacitation of sperms occur in female reproductive tract. The capacitation of sperms occur in female reproductive tract. Question 66. Second polar body is released after dash dash in a region. Choose the option that fills the blanks correctly. जी हाँ, second polar body is released after second meiotic division in oviduct region. जी हाँ, second polar body is released after second meiotic division in oviduct region. Question 67. Which of the following is an incorrect match with respect to a structure and its function? Options are mons pubis fatty tissue covered by skin and pubic hairs. Labia majora paired fleshy folds of skin which extend down from mons pubis. Labia minora paired folds of tissue in the form of lips under the labia majora. The incorrect match with respect to a structure and its function is hymen covers the Vaginal opening completely. Question 68. Study the chart and identify A to E. Question 69. The endometrium begins to break down. Inhibition of uterine contraction ceases and bleeding and cramps of menstruation begin with the withdrawal of which of the following hormones? The endometrium begins to break down. Inhibition of uterine contraction ceases. The bleeding and cramps of the menstruation begins with the withdrawal of progesterone hormone. The endometrium begins to break down. Inhibition of uterine contraction ceases. The bleeding and cramps of the menstruation begins with the withdrawal of progesterone hormone. Question 70. Which of the following cells are diploid? Spermatogonia and primary spermatocyte are diploid. Spermatogonia and primary spermatocyte are diploid. Question 71. The structure devoid of gland in female reproductive system is the structure devoid of gland in female reproductive system is vagina. The structure devoid of gland in female reproductive system is vagina. Question 72. Hormone detected in the mother's blood and urine 10 to 14 days after conception and is also an indicator of pregnancy is hormone detected in the mother's blood and urine 10 to 14 days after conception and is also an indicator of pregnancy is HCG. Hormone detected in the mother's blood and urine 10 to 14 days after conception and is also an indicator of pregnancy is HCG. Question 73. In which phase of cell division and a stage of oogenesis oocyte arrested in human females at birth? In which phase of cell division the stage of oogenesis oocyte arrested in human female at birth का आंसर है प्रोफेज 1 प्राइमरी oocyte. Question 74. In 26 days menstrual cycle ovulation occurs on in 26 days menstrual cycle ovulation occur on 12th days. In 26 days menstrual cycle ovulation occur on 12th days. Question 75. Which of the following is not a function of estrogen? Options are estrogen lowers the blood cholesterol level and thereby afford a natural protection to women against atherosclerosis. Estrogen prevents osteoporosis in females. Estrogen has profound influence on endometrium. And last, estrogen prevents breast and uterine cancer. जी हाँ, not a function of estrogen is estrogen prevents breast and uterine cancer. Question 76. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Options are spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty. Primary spermatocytes undergo meiosis. Each spermatogonium is diploid and contains 46 chromosomes. Spermiation occurs before spermiogenesis. The incorrect statement is spermiation occurs before spermiogenesis. Question 77. Placenta is the only source of hormone like. The placenta is the only source of hormones like HCG and HPL. The placenta is the only source of hormones like HCG and HPL. Question 78. The inner group of cells attached to the trophoblast of a blastocyst. जी हाँ, the inner group of cells attached to the trophoblast of a blastocyst, embryoblast. जी हाँ, the inner group of cells attached to the trophoblast of a blastocyst, embryoblast. Question 79. Following is the diagrammatic sectional view of ovary with the labeled part A, B, C, and D. Choose the incorrect identification of the labeled part and its description. Question 80. During ovulation in human female, the usual observation is that the peak of जी हाँ, during ovulation in human female, the usual observation is that the peak of LH is higher than FSH. जी हाँ, during ovulation in human female, the usual observation is that the peak of LH is higher than FSH. Question 81. Which of the following is an incorrect match with respect to a structure slash seal, the hormone secreted and its function? First, graphene follicle, estrogen, essential for maintenance of endometrium and implantation. Second, Leydig cells, testosterone, essential for growth of external genitalia, that is penis and other accessory sex organs, necessary for descent of testis in scrotum. Sertoli cells, inhibin, suppress release of FSH from anterior pituitary gland. Relaxin, corpus luteum, relaxes pubic symphysis during parturition. जी हाँ, incorrect match with respect to structure slash shell is graphene follicle, estrogen essential for maintenance of endometrium and implantation. Question 82. Second polar body is. जी हाँ, second polar body is haploid and is released in perivitelline space after the entry of a sperm in secondary oocyte. जी हाँ, second polar body is haploid and is released in perivitelline space after the entry of a sperm in secondary oocyte. Question 83. Read the statements A to E. And how many of the above statements are true? Question 84. Which of the following is not correctly matched? Options are: first, Juna pellucida, glycoprotein coat synthesized by oocyte. Second, luteal phase, secretion of progesterone and lasts for 14 days. Trophoblast cell layer, form chorion, amnion and fetal part of placenta. Cortical and Juna constitute first block. जी हाँ, not correctly matched is cortical and Juna constitute first block. Question 85. Identify the development stage shown in the diagram and its correct place of occurrence in a normal pregnant female. जी हाँ, developmental stage is blastocyst, site of occurrence is uterine wall. जी हाँ, developmental stage is blastocyst, site of occurrence is uterine wall. Question 86. Read the following statements A to E. और यह बताइए how many of the above statements are true. Question 87. Identify the statements as true or false. जी हाँ, कि master muscles and connective tissue form a spermatic cord and surround several structures passing through inguinal canal is correct. जी हाँ, कि master muscles and connective tissue form a spermatic cord and surround several structures passing through inguinal canal is correct. Master and dartos muscle help in positioning of testes for temperature regulation inside. भी correct है. Master and dartos muscle help in positioning of testes for temperature regulation inside. भी correct है. The testes descend into the scrotum through inguinal canal during the 7th month of gestation period. भी correct है. The testes descend into the scrotum through inguinal canal during the 7th month of gestation period. भी correct है. But third statement incorrect है. Question 88. Which of the following accessory glands are not matched with their correct function? जी हाँ, lesser vestibular glands present on either side of a vaginal orifice and secrete alkaline secretion for lubrication are not correct matched. Question 88. Which of the following extra embryonic membranes give rise to fetal part of human placenta? जी हाँ, chorion only is that extra embryonic membranes which give rise to fetal part of human placenta. जी हाँ, chorion only is that extra embryonic membranes which give rise to fetal part of human placenta. Question 90. Fill in the blanks and choose the correct option. जी हाँ, milk production in the mammary glands is stimulated by prolactin secreted by anterior lobe of pituitary, and ejection of milk is stimulated by hormone oxytocin released from the posterior lobe of pituitary gland. Question 91. Which of the following function is not performed by epididymis? Options are storage of sperm, maturation of sperm, transport of sperm into the vas deferens, or last dilation of decapacitation factors. They are not performed by epididymis is dilution of decapacitation factor. Question 92. Which statement is not true regarding the hormonal control during various phases of menstrual cycle? Options are the elevated estrogen level through positive feedback stimulate the secretion of LH towards the end of a follicular phase causing LH surge. The level of progesterone rises during luteal phase and thus has inhibitory effect on FSH and LH secretion. Sudden decline in progesterone level causes menstruation. High level of estrogen has inhibitory effect on FSH and LH and it's gradually decreasing during follicular phase. They are not true regarding the hormonal control during various phases of menstrual cycle is high level of estrogen has inhibitory effect on FSH and LH and its level gradually decreases during follicular phase. Question 93. Read the following statements A to D and how many of the above statements are true? Question 94. The chromosome number and DNA content in a spermatid is dash dash and dash dash respectively. जी हाँ, the chromosome number and DNA content in a spermatid is 23 and 23 respectively. जी हाँ, the chromosome number and DNA content in a spermatid is 23 and 23 respectively. Question 95. Which of the following is correct matching a pair with respect to gland and their hormones? जी हाँ, ग्लैंड प्लासेंटा का करेक्ट मैचिंग है हार्मोन एचपीएल से। जी हाँ, ग्लैंड प्लासेंटा का करेक्ट मैचिंग है हार्मोन एचपीएल से। Question 96. Which of the following statements A to E are correct with respect to oogenesis and follicogenesis? जी हाँ, A. New oogonia are not added after birth in a female. Correct है। Tertiary follicles have a well developed fluid filled antrum भी correct है। And E. A primary oocyte is capable of forming only one ovum भी correct है। Question 97. A fertile human male releases dash dash sperms. A ejaculation of which dash dash should have normal morphology and at least dash dash of them must have vigorous motility. जी हाँ, a fertile human male releases 200 से 300 million sperms, ejaculation of which 60% should have normal morphology and at least 40% of them must have vigorous motility. जी हाँ, a fertile human male releases 200 से 300 million sperms, ejaculation of which 60% should have normal morphology and at least 40% of them must have vigorous motility. Question 98. During the luteal phase of menstrual cycle, जी हाँ, during the luteal phase of menstrual cycle, progesterone and estrogen are high, FSH and LH are low. जी हाँ, during the luteal phase of menstrual cycle, progesterone and estrogen are high, FSH and LH are low. Question 98. Most of the major organ systems are formed in a developing fetus by the end of. जी हाँ, most of the major organ systems are formed in a developing fetus by the end of first trimester of gestation. जी हाँ, most of the major organ systems are formed in a developing fetus by the end of first trimester of gestation. Question 100. Which of the following sets of hormones is released by placenta in a pregnant female? जी हाँ, HCG, HPL, relaxin is that set of hormones which is released by placenta in a pregnant female. जी हाँ, HCG, HPL, relaxin is that set of hormones which is released by placenta in a pregnant female. Question 101. The correct order of ducts of male reproductive tract is. जी हाँ, the correct order of ducts of male reproductive tract is rete testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, urethra. जी हाँ, the correct order of ducts of male reproductive tract is rete testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, urethra. Question 102. Read the following statement. बताइए इसमें कौन स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है? जी हाँ, statement A. Tertiary follicle of ovum is characterized by the presence of antrum correct है. जी हाँ, statement A. Tertiary follicle of ovum is characterized by the presence of antrum correct है. Question 103. Read the following statements A to D. How many of the above statements are true? Question 104. Match column A with column B and choose the correct option. बताइए, प्राइमरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, प्राइमरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग ग्रेनुलोसा सेल से होगी. जी हाँ, प्राइमरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग ग्रेनुलोसा सेल से होगी. टर्शियरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, टर्शियरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग एंट्रम से होगी. जी हाँ, टर्शियरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग एंट्रम से होगी. सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग किससे होगी? जी हाँ, सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग थीका सेल्स से होगी. जी हाँ, सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल की मैचिंग थीका सेल्स से होगी. ग्राफियन फॉलिकल की मैचिंग. जी हाँ, ग्राफियन फॉलिकल की मैचिंग ओव्यूलेशन से होगी. जी हाँ, ग्राफियन फॉलिकल की मैचिंग ओव्यूलेशन से होगी. क्वेश्चन 105. चूज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू स्टेटमेंट्स ए एंड बी. जी हाँ, बोथ स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है. द कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम सेक्रेट्स प्रोजेस्टेरोन इनिशियली टू मेंटेन प्रेगनेंसी. The corpus luteum secretes progesterone initially to maintain pregnancy. In absence of fertilization, corpus luteum degenerates to form corpus albicans. In absence of fertilization, corpus luteum degenerates to form corpus albicans. Question 106. Identify the statements as true or false. जी हाँ, सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट इनफर्टिलिटी इज फेलियर टू कंसीव ट्रू है. और मेल infertility could be due to low fructose content and high prostaglandin content भी true है. Infundibulum is the part of oviduct near ovary and isthmus is near uterus भी true है. Question 107. Fill in the blanks. Fetal ejection reflex originates from the fully developed dash dash and dash dash and triggers the release of dash dash from the dash dash pituitary. जी हाँ, fetal ejection reflex originates from fully developed fetus and placenta and triggers the release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary. जी हाँ, fetal ejection reflex originates from fully developed fetus and placenta and triggers the release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary. Question 108. Read the following statements A to D. How many of the above statements are correct? Question 109. Which of the following statements is incorrect with respect to fertilization? Options are entry of calcium 2 plus, initiate whiplash movement of the spermatale. Second, site of fertilization is ampulla of oviduct. And last, all copulations do not lead to fertilization and pregnancy. And third, the female enables movement of fertilized ovum to site of implantation. जी हाँ, incorrect with respect to fertilization is that the female enables movement of the fertilized ovum to the site of implantation. Question 110. Which of the following statements is correct? The depolarization of the ovum membrane ensures a fast block of polyspermy is correct. The depolarization of the ovum membrane ensures a fast block of polyspermy is correct. Question 111. Read the following statements A to E. How many of the above statements are correct? Question 112. Which of the following is a dense collagenous connective tissue structure covering the testis? जी हाँ, tunica albuginei is a dense collagenous connective tissue structure covering the testis. जी हाँ, tunica albuginei is a dense collagenous connective tissue structure covering the testis. Question 113. Cone of reception appears during fertilization on? जी हाँ, cone of reception appears during fertilization on corona radiata. जी हाँ, cone of reception appears during fertilization on corona radiata. Question 114. What is the correct sequence of events during fertilization? जी हाँ, capacitation, approximation, acrosomal reaction, cone of reception formation, prevention of polyspermy is correct sequence of events during fertilization. Question 115. Which of the following hormone appears in urine of a human female serving as the basis of ovulation test? जी हाँ, LH is a hormone appears in urine of a human female serving as the basis of ovulation test. जी हाँ, LH is a hormone appears in urine of a human female serving as the basis of ovulation test. Question 116. Slow block to polyspermy includes? जी हाँ, slow block to polyspermy includes cortical reaction and Jonah reactions which makes the egg impervious to second sperm. जी हाँ, slow block to polyspermy includes cortical reaction and Jonah reactions which makes the egg impervious to second sperm.